Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to our review of the Ecovacs Deebot T10 OMNI robot vacuum. It's a new premium robot vacuum from Ecovacs, who's been a leader and key innovator in the robot vacuum world for years. We bought one and put it through all kinds of tests over the past few weeks, and in this video I'll go over all the pros and cons. So links in the description, and let's get started. First, the basics. The Deebot T10 OMNI is one of Ecovacs' most advanced robot vacuum systems. That being said, it seems that they designed the T10 to be a slightly cheaper version of their flagship robot, the Deebot X1 OMNI. The T10 and the X1 have most of the same advanced features, and the differences that they do have, which we will discuss as we progress, are relatively minor. Starting off with the pros, one major pro with the T10 was its performance. In just about every way we tested it, it excelled over the average robot vacuum, including with its most basic job of sweeping debris from the surfaces of hard floors and carpets. Its two side brushes and well-designed brush roll worked well together, and as you can see, it was nearly perfect with debris pickup on both surface types, even in its standard power setting. The T10 also had a ton of power. We tested its suction and airflow and found them to be massively above average in both cases. And that power showed up where it counts, like in the crevice pickup test, where it was one of the best scores I've seen yet, and with the carpet deep clean test, where we see how good it is at picking up deeply embedded dirt in carpets, where it was again quite a bit above average. Another pro is that its dual brush system for mopping was very effective. We tested it with dried on stains as well as with wet stains in a variety of contexts, and even though, as I'll mention in the cons section, it doesn't have an internal mop tank, but instead it needs to return to its dock periodically to moisten its pads, I didn't notice any significant differences with it and the X1's mopping performance. Another set of pros revolve around its innovative Omni Station, which not only empties the robot's dustbin when it returns to its dock to recharge, but it also automatically washes and dries its mop pads. So there's very little for you to do besides occasional maintenance, and it's about as close to fully automated floor care as you could want. Yet another pro is its cutting-edge navigation system. The T10 uses LiDAR on the top for its mapping and basic navigation. It also has fast mapping. For example, it was able to map out my floor plan in as little as 8 minutes. And in our navigation tests, where we give it several runs on a fixed floor plan, it averaged 8.2 square feet per minute, which is quite a bit faster than the average for premium robot vacuums, which I currently have at 7.4. The T10's battery efficiency was also above average for premium robot vacuums in our tests, at an average of 1.8 minutes per battery percentage point lost, where the average is 1.6. All of that adds up to a theoretical average of 1,486 square feet per charge, which would be one of the best battery life numbers in the industry. Another pro is its obstacle avoidance sensors. One thing to note here, though, is that the T10 has a redesigned obstacle avoidance sensor suite compared to the previous X1. For example, the T10 does not have the lasers on the sides of the camera like with the X1, as well as some minor changes which were probably intended to keep the cost down on the T10. These changes, theoretically speaking, should make the T10 less accurate than the X1 at obstacle avoidance. However, in our obstacle avoidance tests, we found that there wasn't much of a difference. For example, they both scored the same 9 out of a possible 12, which is so far the highest scores we've seen with any of these new AI obstacle avoidance systems. They're not perfect, so far none of them have been, but these are some of the best scores we've seen, and it's definitely better than not having it. There's also a lot of pros related to its software. It has virtual barriers, 3D mapping, multi-level mapping, a best-in-class virtual assistant, live home monitoring, and all the scheduling and cleaning related features you could want, like room select, zone cleaning, and a lot more. It can't all be good stuff though, so let's move on to the cons. One of the disappointments I had with the T10 was that its mopping pads don't lift up automatically when they encounter carpet. It's really hard to call this a con though, since it isn't a feature on the X1 either, but it is becoming more popular on these super premium robot vacuums, and it's not all that clear from the promo material that it doesn't have it, so I thought I would mention it. The T10 does automatically detect carpets though, so when you have the mopping pads attached, it will vacuum and mop the hard floors at the same time, but it will avoid carpet carpets and rugs automatically as to not get them wet. Another con is that the T10 does not have an internal mop tank where the previous X1 does, so to moisten its pads for mopping, it needs to periodically return to the dock. I didn't notice that much of a difference in the mopping tests we did, but it does mean that you can't adjust the water flow, so I could see that being less effective where large amounts of water is needed. Another con is that, like the X1, the Omni Station on the T10 is very big. It's the largest robot vacuum system by volume we've ever tested, so you probably should have an idea of where you want to keep it in your house. All in all though, the Ecovacs Deebot T10 OMNI is one of the best robot vacuum systems in the world, and though it is a bit pricey, if you like the idea of an automated floor cleaning system, which is way above average with its cleaning ability and power specs, with almost every extra feature you could ask for, the T10 is a solid choice. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.